Hi guys, here's just another image for you. So again, I will start image adjustment, color balance, highlight, and take out a little bit of red, add a little bit of yellow. For this image here, I wanted to show you also how you can make that blanket just a bit more dreamy and blend in. So take your color picker and click on the blanket, and then we're going to set the opacity to maybe about 20 and then paint over it, and that's just going to make it blend in a bit and give that sort of dreamy feel. So before, after. And another little tip is to take your burn tool over here, right click, and then choose the burn tool, set it to mid-tones and around 10, and come down with a very small size brush, about 5 pixels, and then you can just paint over that line there, and even a few of the lashes. Don't go crazy though, because it won't look good if you go too crazy, but before, after, it just helps define a little bit there. For this one, image adjustment levels, bring this slider over to the right a bit, just to add a bit of, just to sort of darken the shadows a bit. Again, setting the feather to maybe 50 or so, and then selecting the areas that you want to work on. I just want to lighten those areas a little bit. And here you've got that problem again with a little bit of saturation in this area. So choosing a small feather and just selecting it there. Image adjustments, hue saturation, and lighten it a bit. You now got a few red areas here. Image adjustment, selected color, and just remove a bit of red in those areas. And I would again probably select this area here to go filter, sharpen, set that to about 11, set that about to 12, 13, and that will give a bit more definition on the face. And we'll run portraiture, click away here, click up on that layer, set it to white, brush over the hair, brush over the eyes, eyebrows, nose and mouth. Reduce to about 50, or a little bit more if you prefer a smoother look, or a little bit less. Just using the patch tool here, just to tidy up the blanket a bit if you want. Just a little bit of a dot there. There's a few imperfections that you could go in and tidy up, and I would probably select this forehead here and just brighten that a little bit. And this area here is just looks like it needs to be lightened a little bit, and maybe a little bit of red added overall. I know we took red out of a few little areas, but that was because there were some little patches with quite dark red areas, but now we want to add it to the overall area there. And this arm here as well. And again, there's other ways of selecting those areas. I just kind of tend to use the lasso tool, but it's probably easier if you go in here, click selective color. If you want to take red out, just take it out of the overall image, click Command I, and then you can remove it with the brush. So set that to 100, and then go over the areas where you want to take red out. And if you find that was just a bit much, because I think it was, then you can just bring the slider back a little bit there. Add a bit of contrast, image adjustments, brightness, contrast, and a bit of contrast to the overall image. There. So that is before and after. And I would probably just fix those imperfections up a little bit more on the skin. Not so much these areas of dry skin. I'll probably, I'd leave those there. Even those little dots on the nose you could leave. But more so just making the skin a little bit smoother. Here. We're going to reduce the opacity of that layer like we did in the other image. Just reducing that down. Layer flatten. Maybe just fixing up these tiny little ones in here. And that's that done. Before and after. You could say that this area here is maybe a little bit too bright. If you were to go image adjustment and reduce the brightness there, you'll find that it just makes it look a bit grey, it doesn't have enough colour. So if I do that, then I do go in and add a bit of colour afterwards. So image adjustment, colour balance, and I'll bring in a bit of red and a bit of yellow until I think that that skin tone is looking healthy again.